Welcome everybody, this is Keegan France on the Keegan France channel. In today's video we're going to be doing business startups and how I started my business and how you can too. For starters, you're going to want to go ahead and pick a niche, what kind of business you want to get into, whether it's landscaping, pressure washing, you could do anything from YouTube automation to TikTok videos to a million other things. On this piece of paper that I have right in front of me, we have very different online ones that you can choose. So there's many more to this. This is just some of the ones that I've written down and found throughout my just mild skeeving, like just scraping off the top, looking at stuff. So we got things like selling books online. I have a YouTube video that links it to another famous creator that will go over the entire process. And then obviously things like drop shipping, day trading, YouTube automation, as I was saying earlier, and TikTok edits. We also have another, if I scroll down to the physical aspect, where instead of it just being online, this is a little more physical. So we're talking about a vending machine business where you actually have to go out, get stuff, and then landscaping, obviously, you need to do various things for that, which I'm going to be going over this one today. Pressure washing, which I think I'll also be covering today. Car flipping, car detailing, these are a little more niche specific. You got to really be into it and know what you're doing. And then things like Costco reselling, that's a really good one that I've seen. And photography of real estate, I never really knew was a thing, but I've seen a couple videos and people can make a lot of money doing it. So let's dive a little bit deeper. Now talking with landscaping specifically, I have two things that I sort of start beforehand. So this is definitely something I'd like to do like way in the beginning is you want to get your advertisements out. Something I've recently learned and, kind of was shocked by was the fact that a lot of people, you're supposed to get customers first and then go out and get the equipment and stuff like that. So make sure you have like the service before you go out there and actually get hands-on. So here's just an example of what I did. I have the name of my business, the services that I offer. I said odd jobs because sometimes I do odd jobs. Things like I've put up a pool where I had to put down sand and then the pool and then fill it all up and stuff like that. And then I've also recommend putting your contacts. So this is obviously my name. You put your phone number or email or whatever sort of contact you want to use with a little bit of these different pictures to kind of spice it up. And then discounted services, which is where I'll get into the pressure washing here. So, as you can see on this is a business card and this is a regular flyer. I made these both on Canva. All these images were free, so I went ahead and used them. We put all the different contacts for this one as well because you may not get this one, but you get this one. You may not get the flyer, but you can still get the business card. So I just put basically hour-based pricing, so they'll have to contact me obviously and see. And usually I'll give this face-to-face, so they can just ask me on the spot. And then this reduced price for multi-service customers. Where does that sort of come in? Well, if I get this service right here, as a customer, I get lawn mowing, and then I obviously, we do cutting lawns, trimming, leaf blowing. This is like usually the standard procedure. I'll do all three of those at once. And then basically my next goal is to incorporate this pressure washing aspect where I can hopefully scale that up to a bigger size, and just keep going with that. So if you do that, there'll be a reduced price. So if you do all of the lawn cutting and all the services we offer for that, obviously, then there will be a reduced price on either pressure washing or the cuts yourself. So the hourly based price, that's a little bit different. I think since I'm technically, I'm not obviously professional, seeing as I'm just getting this one started. It's going to be just not necessarily its own business, but just like a side job that I'll probably do. And just whenever, I'll recommend this to my customers if they look like they need it, or even probably go door to door at some point. So yeah, the main aspect of this is to sort of incorporate it into it, and hopefully I can get some extra revenue based off of that. The next thing, instead of products, I actually probably should have put equipment here, but equipment is your next specialty. So I'm going to go into a spreadsheet that I created real quick. It's not professional or anything like that, but it is, just an outline, just because I like seeing things all right in front of me. All the prices, the cost, everything, just a whole breakdown. Alrighty, so in this landscaping landscaping upscaling, I sort of just have like an outline of like what my next steps would be. So mowers, trailer, like if I wanted to get a brand new mower, a new standing mower rather than a push mower that I have now, a new trailer obviously, I have a custom made trailer which probably made for under about 150 bucks, and like a pickup truck. They're just things that I'd need to continue. Honestly, if I get a big enough pickup truck, it wouldn't need a trailer because you just throw it on the back. But things like a new string trimmer, gas, if I just wanted to continue this is how I do it. And as you can see, I was starting to write pressure washer because I was thinking outside of the box, But that's a whole nother thing. So going into pressure washing, I'm not obviously the most experienced with that, but I've been watching and researching for about a week and a half now. And I think it's time that I add it to some of the services that I do, because I think it's a very profitable thing that I can do and add to my sort of certifications, I'd say. Not like actual certificates, but Yeah, and then if I wanted to upscale, obviously I'd get like employees. I need insurance, make it a business, LLC, and everything. And then advertisements, like I was going before with the flyers and the business cards. I just continue somewhere along that for advertisements. Maybe go to Nextdoor or Facebook Marketplace and offer my services there. But as you can see, we got the price breakdown, the model, stuff like that. Just a basic thing, really, really basic. I'm not even sure if this is how I'm going to do it in the future. I've seen other people use other services. So, and for billing, that's a whole other thing, but pricing is the next subject that I'll get into. All right, and pricing. Pricing is different. So you're going to want to be able to sort of assess your price, keep track of what you charge your customers, and sort of just go based on that. So at the beginning of every year, I sort of have a new price. I started at certain houses, so like if I did a corner house, obviously they have like a much bigger yard compared to those if they're just like in the middle, like one of those little slots that just has, minimal and like their lawn meets halfway with the next door neighbor. Obviously there is no next door neighbor for a corner, so I would charge anywhere from 30 to 35 based on how big the corner lot is. If I wanted to do something for pressure washing, I do hourly because honestly I don't think I can charge per square foot, and hourly it gives me more leeway in how long I want to take, and it kind of like incentivizes me to go a little bit quicker. Because obviously you don't want a customer that you overcharge. They don't want to get that return where you come back, and you want reoccurring things where it comes back either once a month or once a year or once a season or whatever you want. So with lawn care, like with the lawn mowing and the trimming and everything, I typically am very open to whatever the customer's down for. Some people want it once a week, some people want it once every 2 weeks, some people have wanted it once a month. So it's kind of all over the place with that, but you do need something to keep track of that. So I just recommend writing it down or saving it on an online document so that you can come back and look at it later. In terms of things of like actual like how you would price your services, that is based on things that I would consider two main things. One, how good of a job you do. If you know that you're good at something and you keep going and you keep doing good, and the lawn, if you mow a lawn, it looks really good after, and you keep that up and you just notice that you're doing better, things are looking better, your outcomes are better. I wouldn't say raise your price automatically, but I think you're worth more at that point. So if you were to not necessarily charge this one customer that you did good a different price the next time, but if you charge a new customer coming in a different fee, I think that's probably how you should start with that. And then slowly build your way up through like things like inflation, gas prices, things like that. Also, if I'm going to start with pressure washing, obviously since I'm not, experienced at it, I haven't done it for as much as I've done landscaping. I've done landscaping for about 5 years now. And if I were to charge something for pressure washing, I'd probably be a little bit lower than the market rate just going into it, because I want to make, not too low though, because people that can afford to go low are ones that have been in the business for a very long time. So I'd start somewhere probably middle of the pack. So some people said if you want to start at $50 an hour or you want to start at like $60 an hour, that's typically where you'd start if you were to like just become fresh right into it without any experience. I've watched a lot of things, I've researched a lot of things, chemicals, nozzles, stuff like that, all the different equipment that you'd need, and all the different like liability problems and how to do certain things. So I'd probably start somewhere around 75, and the professionals, the ones who cost a lot and do a very good job, are the ones that'll start coming in at $100 an hour or more. So it's kind of based on your area, how you know the people, and getting started is another thing I want to talk about. One thing you'll notice is that a lot of people are more... Ooh, actually, I need to make a new slide for this. Okay, getting started. Getting started is something that I have not really found a lot of trouble with because I've, been stuck with my original way of doing things, right? So I started on my grandparents' house, and this is for landscaping. I started with landscaping on my grandparents' house, and I'll probably start pressure washing with them as well. But you want to move it to either friends or family, and you want to sort of, obviously discounted rates and all that. You still want to get paid for the job, but you can't charge them too much because, they're family and friends. But you want to definitely get somewhere to start. So I have previous customers that I've been doing landscaping for 2 to 3 years. And for them, obviously, I'd approach them just as like a side thing. And, obviously, they get the discounted service if they do want it. That's where I'm going to look into starting. And I'll probably come back and make an update about that or something and just sort of know how that goes. But door-to-door is... It depends, because you can't look for soliciting... You have to look for soliciting signs. And some people don't like if you put stuff in their mailbox, so put it like in their door handle or like under their... Because like mailboxes are federally It's like the government's property, so you can't really interfere with it. I had one lady complain about that. It was a little scary when I first started. I thought I was gonna get sued for something because I was young and I made a mistake. So I initially was very terrified of the possibility of already being in trouble, and I didn't even start any business yet because it was the first time handing out flyers. But yeah, other than it was just a little bit of a hard time, and then got over it. Got back out there. I started handing flyers, the right way, either under their little doormats or you could do in their door handles, stuff like that. And even if they're just outside, just like feel free to walk up and be like, "Hey, I'm offering a service. If you have like 2 seconds, I'd love to talk to you about it." And if you're young, even no, it doesn't even matter what age you are, young or not young, you're probably a little more approachable, just because I feel like the older you get, the more people think you're trying to scam them. But yeah, if you just like walk up and you're just approachable, you don't have to be neatly dressed, but you should look like you're dressed for doing the work that you're gonna do. So if you're pressure washing, you should probably have boots on, not when you're walking around, but um, just like look ready to promote yourself. Because if you look all nasty and your hair is all messed up and you're not wearing clothing, like appropriate clothing for the job, like if you're going out in sweatpants and stuff and it's like 80 degrees out, like that's not right. That's not right. But yeah, if you're offering your service, just be genuine, get straight to the point. Obviously, read the situation, and if they say no, they say no. Move on to the next person. That's kind of what I've learned, and I've had plenty of people say no, so it just happens, and move on. It's just like that. It's business as usual. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave a couple of the PDFs and stuff inside probably the description or somewhere else like a Linktree if you guys can download it through there or something along those lines, just so you guys have access to some of the ideas that I've already came up with, and maybe you guys could use it for your own. Other than that, if there's other topics that you guys think I should cover, put them in the comment section, and I can get to them at any point in time. Thank you guys, and have a nice day.